If you have been keeping up with our website and social media, you'd probably be familiar with our Gadget of the Month series that we recently started. As the name speaks for itself, every month we review a newly launched gadget in the Nepalese market that favors its targeted audience the most. For the month of Bhadra, we have chosen Redmi Note 9 Pro Max, and for this month we have chosen what the title of this video states. So why have we chosen ASUS Vivobook S15 S533 for this month? Well, it is a laptop configured for everyday productivity and entertainment, making it a fine choice for work from home, office and school stuff like word processing, spreadsheets, web browsing and simple graphic tasks. Since this is exactly what many people are looking for in a laptop during this COVID-19 crisis, we had to choose this as our Gadget of the Month for ASUS. So now let us dive right into today's full review of the ASUS Vivobook. Out of the 2 variants and 3 color options available, we got the i7 variant in a dreamy white finish for our review. The laptop and its power adapter comes bundled with a mouse, an ASUS bag and a set of stickers. The build quality of this laptop is surprisingly good for its price. The aluminum alloy chassis and lid with plastic bottom plate gives off a premium look. Neither the closed lid nor the base of the laptop when placed on a flat surface has any wobble issues. The bottom plate has 2 speaker cutouts, small ventilation grill for the fan, and 4 rubber pads to lift the laptop slightly and increase airflow. Being a 0.63-inch thin notebook, it is built to be portable as it weighs only 1.8 kilograms. The overall design of this laptop is sleek and minimalist with a clean ASUS Vivobook branding on the lid. When the light falls at certain angles on the lid, you can see a color gradient which looks rather good, especially on this dreamy white finish of our laptop. The laptop has a good-sized precision touchpad with shared space for a fingerprint sensor. The touchpad has improved palm rejection to prevent errors while typing, and the fingerprint logging is very quick and convenient. The buttons on the touchpad have a slightly louder clicky sound, which I am not fond of. The keycaps have white backlight with 3 levels of brightness control. The enter key has a fancy yellow outline. The laptop's display is a 15.6-inch Full HD IPS panel with a 1080p resolution. The screen ratio is 16:9 with a pixel density of 142 pixels per inch. The bezels are thin on all sides, making it immersive. An integrated HD webcam lies on the top bezel, while the bottom bezel has a branding logo. Viewing angles are good on this panel, but sadly it only covers 54% of sRGB color gamut, that is, the color reproduction is not that good. The contrast ratio, however, is very high. The brightness level peaks at 250 nits, which is visible enough for indoor or outdoor uses, but not under the direct exposure of sunlight. ASUS has advertised the speakers on this laptop to be from Harman Kardon, which is a reputable high-end audio manufacturer in the industry. And yes, the bottom-firing 2-watt stereo speakers on this laptop produce very clear, crisp and quality sound in the low, mid and high frequencies. I wish the speaker cutouts were on the top of the laptop alongside the touchpad, as they tend to be covered when I place the laptop on my lap or the bed. On the left side there is the power plug, an HDMI 2.0 port, a USB Type-A 3.1 port, a USB Type-C 3.1 port and an audio jack. On the right side we have 2 USB 2.0 ports and a micro SD card reader along with 2 indicator LEDs to notify of the AC power plugged in and the laptop being switched on or off. In terms of connectivity, you are pretty much future safe here with the availability of 802.11ax dual band Wi-Fi 6 and Bluetooth 5.1. Though Wi-Fi 6 routers aren't available in Nepal as of yet, they are slowly becoming the next Wi-Fi wave around the world. Our laptop runs on the power-efficient version of the latest 10th Gen Intel processor, that is Intel Core i7-10510U, which is a quad-core 1.8 GHz processor with turbo boost up to 4.9 GHz on a single core and around 4.3 GHz on all cores. It is based on the older 14nm plus architecture from Intel, and it lacks in performance and functionality as compared to the 10th Gen Ice Lake chips, which is based on 10nm. But it doesn't mean that this laptop is incapable in any way. Coupled with 8GB of dual-channel DDR4 RAM and 512GB of NVMe SSD, it runs like a beast in any kind of multitasking you throw at it, so you do not have to worry about any lag in your normal day-to-day uses. Along with integrated Intel USD graphics, the laptop also has a 25W NVIDIA GeForce MX 250 graphics card with 2GB of GDDR5 memory. Though this graphic card is not actually meant for gaming, it surely helps with some simple graphic tasks, video editing and content creation. Just to fill my curiosity, I tried to do some gaming on this laptop with the two most popular titles. I was able to get an average of around 65 FPS on the highest settings while playing CSGO, and I averaged around 60 FPS while playing Dota 2 on its highest settings. I'm not going to go into detail, but here are some benchmark results that I got while using this laptop for those of you who are interested. ASUS has discouraged its users from accessing the laptop's internals by locking the bottom panel with 10 Torx-head screws. But don't worry, I'll tell you what's inside. Let us start with the bad news. Since the RAM is soldered to the motherboard, it is not expandable, so you are stuck with 8 GB of RAM. Amazingly, there is an extra M.2 slot for expandable storage. The cooling solution of this laptop consists of a single fat heat pipe that cools both the CPU and GPU, which ends up at a single big heatsink. That means only one fan on this laptop. In my stress test of both the CPU and GPU at 100% load, neither of them crossed the 80°C mark, while the GPU remained as low as 72°C during real-life gaming. There is a 50 Wh 3-cell lithium polymer battery powering the laptop, and with the 65 Watt adapter provided, you can easily juice it up from 0 to 100 in under an hour when the laptop is not in use. Unfortunately, you cannot charge the laptop via its Type-C port, which would have been much more convenient. In my battery test, I used the better performance battery setting of Windows, kept the brightness at 50% and turned everything off except the Wi-Fi. I must admit, I was shocked to see around 14 hours of continuous web browsing and around 9 hours of HD video playback with a 50 Wh battery pack. The average temperature remained at 52°C. Overall, the performance is decent in both CPU and GPU related tasks. The battery life is praiseworthy, the laptop is portable, the display is fairly good, and you even got Wi-Fi 6 and super fast and reliable fingerprint security. Since the only downside is RAM upgradability, I can easily recommend it to people who are looking for a mid-range ultrabook, especially for students and home office workers. Since this was our very first review of a PC or laptop in our YouTube channel, I'm very sorry if we made any mistakes or forgot to cover anything necessary. I'd be more than happy to listen from you in the comment section down below for any queries or suggestions. I'll see you next time.